to Dad Skills. Today we're going to be talking about what to have in a first aid kit.
Yeah, first aid survival kit.
Survival kit.
Yeah, it's a little bit more than just a first aid kit.
So this is what you would take camping or maybe have in your car if you get stranded, if you live in an area where you could get stranded.
Yep. This is basically, I just throw this in wherever I go, especially when you go do hiking or mountain climbing or anything like that.
Okay.
This has the stuff in it that I've used over 40 years of being out in the wilderness. And
yeah, tell us some of your history in the wilderness really quick.
Well,
so you hunted, you've been
Yep.
camping,
Yep.
backpacking?
Yep.
So you know how to do everything in the
A
wilderness,
little bit of alpine mountain climbing, a little bit of rock climbing, a lot of hunting, some fishing, more fly fishing, because that's an active kind of sport.
Yeah.
You know, you're actually out there doing stuff, not just sitting on a bank drinking a beer.
What's wrong with that?
There's beer drinking involved in pretty much everything I did younger. I mean, that's a given. So
of course. I don't know what that's about at all.
yeah, of course not. So
never had a drink in my life.
my lips have never touched the lips of those that touched alcohol.
Okay, so this is going to be what you would need for any type of survival situation.
Not necessarily. What this is this is what I've found that I needed in certain situations that I've been in doing all the stuff that I've done. Oh, sailboat racing is another one. I did a lot of sailboat, 20 years of sailboat racing.
Okay.
And so this is just a pack that I've developed kind of by accident, going, oh God, I need that thing. Throw it in.
Yeah.
Oh, gee, you know, if I'd had that, it would have saved that guy's blisters.
Okay.
Throw that in.
Okay.
So it's just kind of grew out of necessity of looking at something going, geez, you know, if I'd have had it, it would have make it a better day.
Okay, gotcha.
So
let's take a look. What's inside?
Well, let's take a look at the typical first aid kit that you'd get from somebody else. This is one that lives in my van, and it lives in there.
This looks like it's from the 1800s.
It's a long time ago in a faraway place, and they probably make better ones, but this is some eye wash, bunches of plastic bandages, a little bit of cotton bandages.
These look super old.
Yeah, they probably are. Lots and lots of bandages.
You definitely come from a generation, I've noticed, even with Mom, that you don't believe in expiration dates.
No. And we sailed with a lot of doctors. A lot of doctors are adrenaline junkies, and that sailboat racing is one of the best adrenaline junkie fixes you can get.
Yeah.
And they all pretty much to a T said the expiration dates on medicines and stuff like that is BS.
Really?
Yeah, because they just want you to buy more.
Okay.
And so
what else is in here?
just sterile, mostly just bandages. I mean, you got a whole big pack of bandages.
What's the worst injury that you've ever gotten somewhere that you had to do up on the road or whatever?
I was elk hunting one time over in eastern Washington. We were driving up this road. I'll make it really quick. There was a bunch of elk up in front, and one of the guys happened to have his muzzle loader with him, and he pulls up, takes a shot. Muzzle loaders travel really slow, and so by the time the bullet got there, the elk had jumped a little bit, and Marshall Eaton, the guy that made the shot, got him in the ass.
Ooh, wait. Wait, someone got shot in the butt?
The elk did. The elk got shot in the butt.
Okay.
We were standing alongside the road, and we're going like, it's one of these things you go, hey, I wonder if we're going to see any elk today. And you look over and you go, well, how about them? You know, and we see him up in the woods, and he puts his cap on and pulls up and shoots. And you can see as the sound travels there faster, the elk made a jump, and he shot him in the butt. So there's a good trail of blood. So I'm a young hot dog in my early 20s, you know, tracking stuff through the waist deep snow is no big deal.
Mm-hmm.
So I go up and I track this elk down. I'm tracking it through the woods, but I'm not getting a good shot on it. And so I track it around the side of this mountain, and this other guy that just came up there, and he stops, sits down, clears some snow out from underneath the tree. He's having a lunch, turns around, goes bam, kills this elk.
Okay.
And so...
Wait, what? Is this a human injury?
This is a human injury we're talking about here.
Okay, what's the human injury?
So this guy, he's...
This is you that got hurt?
No, this is another guy.
No, I wanted to know what's the worst injury that you've ever gotten?
Oh, out in the middle of nowhere?
Yeah, let me say it again.
Oh,
Let me start over.
Oh, well, it didn't involve a first aid kit.
Wait, let me start over.
Okay.
Wait, what? Why? You didn't have a first aid kit when you
Well, I had a first aid kit. It wouldn't have been any effective. I thought I broke my leg.
Oh, well, what's the worst... Let me rephrase. What's the worst injury that you've ever gotten out in the wilderness where you've had to use the first aid kit on it? Or this survival kit that you have?
Oh, I'm pretty careful. Broke a bunch of ribs on a sailboat race one time.
No, that doesn't take this.
That doesn't take this either.
What about someone else?
Well, I was going to tell you about finish that elk story. Anyway, this guy's cutting this elk up. Marty, my boss, and I are both up there. And we don't know where we are, how to get to our rig or anything, you know. And so Marty says, hey, he says, if we hang around this guy, maybe he'll give us a ride back to our truck. And so we're going to help him haul this thing out. And so he says, okay, well, that sounds good. And so he's cutting this thing open, and he takes a knife, he cuts through the belly part here, and he's cutting through the brisket, and he's holding the brisket open like this, and he's cutting it with a hatchet. And he cuts his thumb almost all the way off.
Wait. So long story short, you're elk hunting, and
this guy cuts
his thumb
pretty much all the way off. And it's bleeding pretty good.
Oh.
And so I didn't use a lot of first aid stuff here. We shoved a thing under his arm, rolled up a t-shirt, shoved it under his arm, and we compressed this and kind of wound it up with a compress, so it kind of stopped the bleeding. But he's still bleeding pretty good.
Did he survive?
He did.
Did his thumb survive?
I don't know about that.
Okay, let's move on. Gonna throw up.
Well, this is a good story. I mean, so he says he's sitting over there and he's starting to go into shock and stuff, and I don't know how far up the mountain we are. And so I says, and he didn't want to leave this elk because this is his first elk. And I said, I'll finish cutting this elk up, you know. And so I reach up in there and I'm just hacking stuff, and I'm throwing the guts out and the esophagus and everything, and I'm throwing it out. And finally, I look over at this guy and I says, man, he says, you're going to die up here if you don't get out of here.
Yeah.
And so he says, yeah, I agree. And so he says, I'll take Marty down. And so Marty leaves his rifle, and I've got my rifle, and I've got this elk up there. And Marty takes him down.
Cares more about the elk than his thumb.
More about the elk than the thumb, yeah. And so I ended up dragging this elk down the snow, and then go back up and get the two rifles and bring them down past the elk, and then go back up and get the elk, and I'm dragging it down. This sucker gets stuck behind trees and wrapped around stumps and stuff like that. So I come down out of the mountains, sweat just pouring off me. I got the elk and two rifles and everything, and here's Marty and this guy. The forest ranger just happened to stop by with a real good first aid kit, and he didn't stitch him up or anything, but he bandaged him up real good. So he stopped the blood, and he had a pretty good sized bandage on him. They're sitting in the back of the truck drinking beer.
Who is?
Marty and this guy that cut his thumb off. And so I come up there and I'm going, Jesus Christ, what are you guys doing here? So I'm sweating my ass off up there. And they're going, oh, I had to stay and watch him in case he passed out or anything like that. So anyway, the guy was so nice, he gave us half the elk. We had to drive to Yakima.
Well, yeah, I would think so.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what else is in here.
A pair of scissors. Okay.
Okay.
And then these are...
Like gauze scissors?
Yeah, gauze type cutting scissors. You're cutting clothes open with them. You've got, what's this?
What's that? Iodine?
Yep, iodine. Sterile eye patches. I've never needed anything like that. Sterile gauze pads. And then, oh, sorry. And this is first aid antiseptic
and
burn ointment. Yeah.
This is what you want to put on when your daughter gives you a sick burn.
No, you care. Sick burn? It's a burn in the ass.
Never mind.
You know what burns my ass? Flame about that tall.
I don't get it.
Burns your ass.
You don't know what a sick burn is?
Uh-uh.
It means It just means when somebody like, what would your term be?
No generational gap here.
Yeah, well, when someone disses you or
Oh, okay.
like when you're with your friends and they get a good rib in.
Oh, yeah.
They rib you.
Yeah.
Is that what you guys used to say?
Diss on you. What would be another one that we used to use? Rank on them is what we used to
Rank on them.
rank on
Okay.
them, yeah. So anyway, this
Apply the burn ointment to the
rank.
sick rank.
is yeah.
Okay.
So basically, this is all there is in here is a bunch of sterile gauzes and
What
a
are
couple.
these?
I have no idea. Probably a suppository of some kind.
Ew. So this is would be something that you also carry this with you?
Yes, I don't carry it with me when I go into the bush. That's strictly at the vehicle.
This is a vehicle one.
Yeah,
Okay.
and all they basically are is bandages and tweezers and some scissors.
Just basic stuff.
Basic stuff, and that's what you get with and that's a pretty well equipped, and that's an eye wash. That's a pretty well equipped first aid kit for
Okay.
that you like carry in your truck.
Yeah. Basic stuff.
Basic stuff.
In case something happens.
In case something happens.
Look how old this is.
Now,
It's got rust on it.
well, it's been around. It's experienced.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah, it has experience.
Okay. What about this?
Well-
This is the goodie bag.
This is a goodie bag. This goes with me everywhere
Okay.
because it has everything in it you ever want.
Wow.
Well,
Okay, so I know a couple things. Leatherman.
Leatherman tool.
This is amazing. These are awesome.
Those are wonderful tools that you can almost repair, your transmission if you have a screwdriver, which that has.
Has all these tools in it.
Has all the tools you'll ever need.
Do you use this a lot?
Not a lot.
Just in case.
Just in case. The biggest thing in that one has pliers and things like that.
Okay.
Then
Wow.
you always have a compass with you.
Always, always, always.
Everywhere I go, I have a compass with me. That will get you home no matter where you are. You take a reading where you're going, you kind of get a area. You look around at the area and you go, okay, I'm going to be going at 270 degrees and there's a tree over there. And I'm going to stop at the tree on that hill, look around and do someplace else. So that, or a little bit of orienteering, that will get you home always.
Orienteering.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now-
You have one. You have one that has a
Lanyard.
This is handy to keep around your neck.
Yeah, you throw that around your neck, you'll never be without it. And you lash it to yourself. Because if this sucker falls out of your pack, you're screwed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Now,
Swiss
of course,
Army knife?
Swiss Army knife. This is real important to be out there and you don't have something to open your wine with. You know about that, right? You're laughing because it's a very important.
I'm more of a beer drinker, but yes.
Yeah,
Definitely a can opener, right?
yeah. There's a can opener inside there.
You definitely don't want to be in the wilderness not drunk.
Not drunk. Leonard and I went up for a 3-day backpacking trip in the Goat Rocks Wilderness area one time. We didn't have a tent. We didn't have anything. We had a piece of plastic that we had taken off of the boring bar that had come into the machine shop. Had a nice big piece of plastic, and we used that. And I had a mountain climbing sleeping bag, and we were in the middle of summer, and we camped on this little bit of a slope, and the mosquitoes up there were terrible, and I ended up being about 30 feet down the mountain because it was open the thing up until the mosquitoes ate you alive and close it back down. And it was one of the worst nights I'd ever spent. It was a lot of fun. Beautiful pictures of Mount Adams from the Goat Rocks up there.
What does this have to do with wine?
We drank beer. We took a half case of beer with us.
That's it?
Well, we took a little bit of food too, but the beer was the most important part. Well, we did take some steaks off of this road-killed deer that we had got. There was a deer alongside the road, and
Wait. Stop pulling stuff out. You're not explaining anything.
well, this is just stuff here.
Okay, so you got a Swiss Army knife,
Yep.
some tea lights. That
Tea lights.
actually is a really good idea that I've never thought about doing.
You
Just
can-
in case for...
It'll get you a fire going when you're out in the woods. You can't find any pitch. That stuff works pretty good.
Okay.
Fire
and then
starter.
obviously fire starter.
Yep.
What? You said something about This has magnesium on it?
That is magnesium. That's a bar of
So
magnesium.
this is the bar of magnesium. What is this part then? This is the actual sparking mechanism?
Hang on here. Yeah. You take
Wait.
you take your knife.
Mm-hmm.
You see where this is shaved here a little bit,
Mhm.
and you shave this off. See, there's some magnesium coming off.
Okay.
Can you see it in your hand there? Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah.
And then you use that. I don't want to do this in
Don't do
your
it in
hand.
my hand.
But then you use this. You got to take it off of that first. You take the thing so you really get a good scrape on it.
So this is what you should do. This is flint?
That's flint, and that's your steel.
So this is the flint, and then this is the steel, and you're
Yep.
scraping.
Yep.
Oh. Wow. It's... Oh. Oops.
Yeah, that works better when you take it off there.
Oh.
You get more power.
Okay.
And
Like that?
you hold it right down. You scrape your magnesium right on top and use this to scrape it down.
Okay.
And when that starts the magnesium.
Okay.
That's if you this is a backup plan if everything else fails.
Okay.
Because I have usually carry 2 or 3 butane lighters with me.
Okay.
Never have too many butane lighters.
Okay. So, but
Okay.
this is like the survival fire starter.
Survival, yeah. When you're down to that, you're in deep guano.
Okay. And you have a dollar bill.
Yeah, you need some money once in a while, you know. A dollar
someone-
bill. Yep.
So you used to get a ride from someone?
Yep. Or earplugs.
Earplugs?
Yep.
For why?
In case you want to, in case you get that nice ride with the trucker and you've been out there for 3 days in the bush and you haven't slept, you can put the earplugs in and get some sleep.
Because they're all on speed.
Yeah.
Mm.
This is a, hold it down here. This is a Pelican Industries flashlight. It is good down to 500 feet underwater.
What?
Yes. And it is,
Does it work?
yes, it should work. Keep
Probably
shooting up
not.
the other way. Keep
Probably
shooting up
not.
the other way. There you go.
Oh.
Yeah, it's got a little corrosion on it. There. So
Okay.
now when you really get this thing set up, you have this down in here, and you have this sticking out just
Why?
a little bit.
So you can just pull it
Yeah,
out?
because you're out dark, the wind's blowing, or you're in the front of a sailboat, and the thing's giving you the washing machine trip, and you go up there, and you go darker than heck. And so, where's my flashlight?
Mm.
So that's the thing that's actually sticking out of the pack.
Okay.
That's zipped up around it is the flashlight, because you can drag it out and then see what else you
Uh-oh.
can look for.
Yeah.
it's still on. I really like these Pelican Industry flashlights because they're guaranteed against everything except shark bite, bear attack, and children under 5 years old. So they're very tough. They go anywhere, waterproof, indestructible.
Unless you have a 5-year-old.
Unless you got a 5-year-old or a bear.
Okay.
Tape,
tape.
water, not really waterproof, just regular old tape.
Okay.
Okay, and you got some
Antacids.
antacid, Pepto-Bismol.
In case you eat some bad berries.
Well, yeah, or you get a little tummy upset. That'll help you out there a little bit.
Because you don't want to get dehydrated when you have diarrhea.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Space blanket works great. Absolutely worked great. I used that when we were up in Alaska. Your mom and I were staying in a little trailer, didn't have any heat, and it was the midsummer, and we got cold out there.
You actually use this?
Yeah, I used
Wow.
used one of these guys. Now,
I feel like this is one of those things you pack in an earthquake kit if you're from the Northwest
yeah,
or the West Coast.
yep.
You always see them, like when we were kids, we had to pack these in the earthquake kit, but I never used one.
Well, we did. We used one. If you put it right next to your body, it's going to make you sweat because it's absolutely no moisture goes out of it.
Okay.
So we started out with that wrapped around us, then the blanket on top. We went, no, that's not going to work. So we put the blanket around us and then put this on top of the blanket. And boy, we slept really good. So always have one of these guys with us at all
Okay.
times. So
You have a coin?
make a phone call.
Oh.
Yep.
Well, that's...
Well, remember we were at Yosemite and they still had phone booths?
Did they?
Yeah, I took some pictures of it.
Did you just say Yosemite?
Yeah, when we were at Yosemite,
Yeah.
Yosemite Sam, remember?
That must be where Chad got that, because he said that the other day. And I was like, did you just say Yosemite? Yeah, Yosemite Sam.
Yeah,
Gum?
Always have some gum with you, especially if you're climbing and your ears get plugged. That'll help. Chewing the gum will help the station tubes clear up. Okay.
What else?
Got a mirror. We got another quarter in there too.
A mirror?
Got a mirror.
What for?
Oh, if you want to do some shaving.
Okay.
This thing
Here,
is.
hold it up to that.
There it is.
Okay.
Now this works really good because you can hang it up, and these packs come off.
Oh, this is a cool pack. So,
Yeah.
what kind of pack is this? It's just an outdoor.
This is a REI, I think it is.
Mm.
So, but anyway,
Well, I mean, like,
this
it's
mirror.
a travel pack? Or?
Yeah, it's like a travel pack. This mirror's in there, and the mirror, I believe,
The patches?
comes off. So you can signal with it, shave, pick something out of your eye with it, so forth and so on. And this thing hangs up. So,
Cool.
and what's in this other side over here? Got another. Oh, this thing is dirty, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do we got over here? Just a few more things. Oh, there's my little knife. I was wondering where that went.
So, 2 different ones.
Well,
What?
I love this knife because it's an older one, and it has a
What's that?
tweezers,
Oh, it's mini tweezers.
mini tweezers, and a toothpick. Okay, so it has
In
both
there.
in there in the side.
Wow.
Go ahead and put that one in. This is the new version of it. They don't make that version anymore. And you'll notice one thing, that it doesn't have it doesn't have a toothpick anymore.
Mm. So
And
you carry this?
yeah, that's why I carry that. So in there, now you have a writing instrument.
Oh.
can write that note.
The SOS note.
Yeah. So anyway, some handkerchiefs.
How do you get this back? Oh. Handkerchiefs.
Handkerchief. I don't carry a lot of those because I usually carry about 3 or 4 of those in my wallet because I used to work at the brewery. And you're always cutting yourself on the glass at the brewery, so you don't have a lot of those.
A feminine napkin?
Yeah, they soak up blood real well. Here's some more.
Well, I can't argue with that.
They do, and it's real thin. And
Yeah.
that's one of those super ones, you know, that I won't even go down that
Uh-huh.
rabbit hole. And this
Let's
is some
get
more,
off that topic.
this is some more gum,
Okay.
some chapstick,
Oh.
SPF 30 is in there. Okay,
What else we got?
this is the good stuff in here.
Why is this the good stuff?
Well, there's painkillers. Let me
Ooh.
just pull this whole thing out here and take a look at it. This is all kind of beat up, trashed over the decades.
Pain pills.
Pain pills. This is a breathing. If you want to do, there we go. If you wanted to do mouth-to-mouth resuscitation on somebody, and they're old, or they're not they're old, but they're puking, this will give you that little bit of.
What? What
Cover
is-
their face and still blow through it.
What actually is this?
That is a. You can blow through that centerpiece there, so you put that over their face, and you can give them mouth to mouth without touching them. That probably came out of the era when AIDS first came out, and everybody wanted AIDS and didn't want AIDS and stuff like that. So.
Disposable recessive face shield.
Yes.
You can see that. I've never even heard of that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh my god, there's so much stuff in here.
Yeah, it is. You can get a lot in. And a lot of this stuff should be thrown away. It's old and dirty. But I haven't been out and brushed for a long time. So
What are these?
that is a anti-diarrhea. Yeah, which if you're
Some
out in the
medicine.
brush and you have diarrhea, that is invaluable.
More Tums.
More
good.
Tums, yeah. And you notice I have Tums put in various compartments.
Because when
one-
you're sick, you're
Yeah.
just searching around.
Yeah.
Why do you have condoms?
Well, you never know what you run into. I ran into lots of pretty girls in the woods.
Dad.
But they're also, you can...
You know these expire.
Well, yeah, I said I haven't used this for. I've been married for 13 years now, so.
Wait, what do you really use these for?
They can be used especially when you're hunting in the snow. You can put that over the end of your rifle barrel, and it keeps the snow out of your rifle or the mud or stuff. If you're crawling around down the brush down in the Nema area, and you're literally crawling on your hands and knees in the mud,
With a rifle?
With a rifle, you'll see feet of elk in front of you, and you look up and it's just trees, and so that keeps your rifle clean.
So you literally stick this on the end of your rifle?
Yes, stick that on the end of your rifle, and if
so
you
to speak.
Yes.
What else do you? What? Okay, wait, hold on. Didn't you say one time that you could put water in these?
You can put water in them. They also burn fairly well. If you want to get a fire started, use this and use that rubber down in there. It'll help keep the fire going or get it going.
Okay. What else we got? Sterilizing strip, alcohol, prep pad.
These are.
What's that?
These are sutures. Okay, sterile sutures. I hunted with a bunch of soldiers 25, 30 years ago, and one was a nurse. And so I asked him, I said, "Oh, you got any extra sutures with you?" And he was, "Sure." He carried a big med kit with him. And so he gave me a bunch of those. And I haven't stitched myself up out in the woods, but I've stitched myself up a couple of times just hanging around the house when you don't want to go to the hospital.
Oh my God.
And I stitched a guy up at the horse ranch back in New York. He had cut himself with a beer bottle, and so I poured some 151 alcohol in there. He was screaming and puking into the toilet while we were doing it. But it worked really good to stitch him up.
Oh my God.
He went to the doc the next day, and the doc.
The next day?
Yeah. Well, I'm a cowboy. I'm stitching this guy up, and he's puking into the toilet, and I says, "You better go to the doctor tomorrow just to make sure I did everything right." And he went, and the doctor said, he says, "Oh, I'd probably put one more stitch in." I put 3, and he said I'd put 4. But I mean, I just said,
"Look at you, Dr. Dad."
Yeah, well, you learn stuff when you're out in the woods and there's nobody else around. And
yeah.
So extra batteries for the flashlight. Those are probably getting a little old by now. What's this? This is Alka-Seltzer, getting a little old also, but here again, if you really have an upset tummy, that stuff works really good.
Alka-Seltzer, cold tabs in case you get the flu.
Yep, that kind of stuff. And what's this one? Non-aspirin.
Non-aspirin.
Acetaminophen.
Pain reliever.
Acetaminophen. This one has run out completely.
Tylenol. Floss.
Dental floss. All sorts of stuff you can use dental floss for. You can tie the condom onto your rifle with it. You can actually floss your teeth. You can use it to hold your socks up when you're drying them over the fire. Dental floss is a wonderful tool.
Wow, it's a
use
really
all sorts
good
of
idea.
stuff.
I mean, it's pretty much like tiny cord.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is, and you can't break it. It's real tough.
Wow, okay.
It's a nylon cord. More anti-diarrhea.
More earplugs.
More anti-diarrhea. More Alka-Seltzer. What's that?
Some of this definitely needs to be thrown away.
Electrolyte tablets.
Oh.
So if you're running out of electrolytes, you get yourself up like I was one time hunting, and we were spring bear hunting, and this one guy took us up this spot, and he goes, "Oh, they got a lot of bear up there," and so we went hunting. We put on our hunting clothes like it was fall, and my brother and I are climbing this shale face right against the sun. We got so hot up there, and get one of those, throw it in your pack or in your canteen, and you get your electrolytes replenished.
The portable Gatorade.
Portable Gatorade.
Antibiotic ointment.
Yep, antibiotic ointment. Alcohol prep pads. These guys are pretty good if you get yourself, you want to wipe something off. Those work really good.
Iodine. What is the iodine for exactly?
It helps keep the bacteria from infecting your wound. Okay.
Gross.
This is, I think, an Alka-Seltzer.
What is this? Transderm scopolamine? Transderm.
Oh yeah, this is for you put it on the right behind your ear, right back here.
Why?
That seasickness pill.
What?
Yeah,
I've never even heard of this.
yeah.
Oh, this is like Dramamine, but a
Dramamine,
patch.
but a patch, yes.
Oh,
If your tummy's too upset already and you can't hold anything down, you put that behind your ear
Whoa.
when you're out sailboat racing. or
I do
something.
get motion sickness.
Yeah.
That's
So-
cool.
More Band-Aid strips. A lot of this stuff I'm going to get rid of because it's really outdated and broken and
Mm-hmm.
so forth and so on.
Thermometer. Whoa. Wait, is this really a thermometer?
Yep, open it up. Stick that on your forehead, and if it reads,
Wow.
that's a cheap thermometer you can throw in
Can I
there.
see it?
Sure. Okay.
Does it do anything?
Yep.
What does it say?
Oh, actually, I gotta
I think Fahrenheit's on the bottom.
get. Yeah. No, Fahrenheit's on the top. You're at 100 point.
Uh-oh.
Well, 98.6 is when it starts. Yeah, you're about normal. You get a little blue and a little green and a little bit above it. So the blue is where it normally is.
I don't know if you can see.
Here's the mirror.
Oh, perfect. Huh. Wait, so what's... Oh, the green is what... It's like a mood ring
Yeah,
for your forehead.
yeah.
Cool. I've never seen this before. Comes in a little package.
Yep, keep it sterile. It's reasonably sterile.
Okay.
Alright, let's dig into this thing here.
Bandages.
More bandages.
Finger bandages. That's probably handy.
More bandages.
Okay.
What's this little guy in here?
Cold tabs. Iodine.
Congest away, cold tabs. Yeah, that's,
We already did that.
yeah.
Knuckle bandage.
Yep. Knuckles are real hard when you scrape them or cut them. They work really good.
Knuckle bandage. I didn't see that. You got a lot of iodine.
Yep, sterile
Sterile
pads. When
pads.
you get a bigger wound, you want those guys.
Okay.
Ibuprofen again. There.
What is this?
Moleskin.
What the?
This is the stuff that you use. It's thick, not just thin. It's got about an eighth of an inch thick. It's a cushion on one side, and the other side is adhesive that sticks to your skin. So when you're out hiking or climbing or something like that, and you start getting a blister, cut this off to the size, make it big enough, cut it off to the size that you need, slap that on the blister, it helps. We were on a hike up to,
Wow.
where'd it go? Mount Townsend one time. And it was a company hike, and Gary Buxton came up there with, not flip-flops, but one stage above it, he came up with boating shoes. And we went 11 miles that day.
Ugh.
First hike of the year. He's coming off the hill, and you can see he's in horrible pain.
Oh no.
And I says, Gary, you okay? He says, oh, I got a little sore feet, you know. And we stopped. I used almost a whole one of these things on his
Ew.
feet.
Gross.
So those are really good if you start getting sore feet. Bandage your feet up. That really works good. More Band-Aids.
So this part's you pull this back and it sticks?
Yeah, it sticks right to your skin.
Okay. And then this is the cushion part?
That's the cushion part. This goes against your shoe, and this goes against your foot.
Okay, got it.
Okay?
That's really handy. How much is, like, where do you find this?
Hiking stores.
Oh, okay. I'm not, moleskin?
Moleskin. Yeah.
Hmm.
Some more Band-Aids.
What's
Quick
that?
reference guide. If you're stumped and you go, and I don't know what to do, that kind of helps you out a little bit.
Oh, let's see. First aid instructions.
Yep.
That's handy. Let's see. Basic first aid techniques.
Yep.
Building a splint. Moving the injured person. Checking pulses. Securing head and neck. Wow, this is a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one.
Wow. Unconscious, difficulty breathing, CPR.
Yep.
Do you know how to do CPR?
Oh yeah. had many classes in first aid.
Wow.
I was a Boy Scout too, but all that stuff is pretty much superseded now with newer stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You don't even do the breathing anymore on CPR. It's
You just do the pumping stuff?
Chest compression.
Oh. Bleeding and wounds. Heat-related injuries. Burns, fractures, infections, cold-related injuries, shock, smoke inhalation, carpet. Wow. Where did you get this?
I have no idea.
That's really helpful.
Well,
Probably REI or...
could have been. You know, I've been doing this stuff a long time.
Let me just show the whole thing.
Yeah.
This is really handy.
Yep.
Broken bones.
Yep.
Keep victims still and seek medical help immediately. Yeah. Well, that's kind of for all this stuff, right?
Yeah, a lot of it helps to do
Food
that,
poisoning.
Yeah. Yep. Depends on what they ate.
This is probably the thing that will get me because of water, right?
Yeah.
I'm surprised you don't have water cleansing tablets.
Never needed them.
Really?
Nope.
Why?
Always carried enough water. Or beer.
You know that Humphrey Bogart on the set of African Queen was the only person not to get sick?
Because he was drinking booze.
Because he was drinking whiskey?
Yep. Yep.
I think it was
So-
African Queen. Okay, what's this? Bites and stings.
Another
Bites and stings booklets.
another how-to.
Repellents. Oh, this is for bugs.
Yeah.
And ew. Ew. Ew.
Here you can get first aid kits again.
Oh.
But I don't like the store-bought first aid kits because look what you get. A couple of Band-Aids, some tweezers, ointment, a glove, and some Tylenol. And that's all you get.
So this is like a primitive catalog.
Yeah.
Okay. This actually came with an extractor pump. What does that mean?
For extracting venom out or something like that.
Gross.
We don't have very many venomous things around here, so
Thank God.
yeah. So
Wow.
that's it.
That's it? This is a ton of stuff. How did you fit all that in there?
Dogging perseverance, and
Okay.
I've had this thing for 30 years, so
Wow, okay. That's really helpful. Thank you so much for showing me that.
yeah. Got any questions about anything?
When are we going camping?
This summer. You can go out and be away from everybody, you know. Every time I went hiking, I always tried to go away from everybody else. You go out there and you want to be alone.
Yeah.
That's why I like to be self-sufficient when I go places.
Okay, gotcha.
So,
this would be a good start, well, more than a start, for going out into the wilderness by yourself.
yep.
You will probably survive.
You could. You have a better chance of surviving if you have all this stuff, especially like the compass, the flashlight,
I would say the flint.
the knives, flint and steel. I'm amazing I don't see any lighters in here. Must have used them when we were smoking. So.
You're not supposed to say that.
Well, people smoke, you know. Looking at this after, you know, kind of a close inspection, I would probably update the Band-Aids,
Yeah.
update the med stuff, because
Yeah.
some of them are just, they're hollow and worthless.
Yeah.
We got alcohol prep pads now that are actually made in aluminum, so they don't lose the alcohol.
Oh, yeah, these are probably dried out.
Probably dried out.
Okay. So you do want to replace things periodically.
Yeah.
Probably your batteries.
Batteries, yeah, they're probably 10 years old or so.
Okay.
But yeah,
Gum probably doesn't taste good anymore.
yeah. I should probably update a lot of this stuff,
Okay.
but a lot of it, like I don't have access to the sutures anymore,
Yeah. I mean,
and some of this stuff it's just outdated. But a lot of it still works.
I don't even know what sutures are.
It's a needle and thread.
Ew.
That's what you.
That's what I thought, but it's just, gross. I didn't know if it was,
You're bleeding, and you're bleeding real good. Those are wonderful.
well, yeah, but I don't ever want to have to think about it.
You
But
do
you
it-
should, I mean, yeah, this is for stuff that you don't want to think about, right?
Yeah,
Just in case.
yeah.
What, is there anything that you don't see in here that you would include?
Lighters, that I would put a couple of good Bic lighters because they work.
You used to have, when you were sailing, in a lighter that worked underwater? Or something? No, windproof.
Windproof. I had a windproof lighter that I carried with me because you never know when you're going to need a fire.
Yeah,
And,
that would be handy.
Yep, windproof lighter.
Anything else?
Maybe more of these. Some feminine protection pads because they work really good at stopping blood. You know, they'll soak up a lot of blood in a small space. So,
Yeah.
and this is a survival kit for going in the wilderness. Okay. Now on the sailboat, had a completely different
Oh.
first aid kit. It's in a dry bag. It's range completely different.
Okay.
But that's another story.
So that's another good tip is think about the things you want to access and where you're going to be in need and put them in those pockets where you can access them quickly
Yes.
or on your person.
Yeah. Well, you don't have that luxury on a sailboat.
No,
Yeah.
no, no, in the wilderness.
Yeah, in the wilderness. And this goes with me pretty much everywhere. I mean, I got it in my pack. I usually have it on one of the side packs, so it's very accessible. So you can look in there, even in the dark. This thing's sticking out of it,
Right.
so you can grab this,
Okay.
turn the light on, and then find whatever else you want in here.
Yeah.
And the compass, I always had that. When I'm in the woods, that is lashed to me. I never put this down. I never put it in my pack. It is lashed to me and in a pocket, so I cannot lose it. 'Cause
Okay.
this, well, I tell
Sutured
you,
into your skin.
you're pretty close.
That makes me think, so are there any tips for when you get lost in the wilderness? Like, I know you used to say moss grows on the north side of trees.
Not
Not
nec-
here,
not
in the
necessarily.
northwest, but
I've checked on that at other places too. We go back east to Kentucky and stuff like that and do
Yeah.
hikes back there. And moss is more susceptible to grow on the north side, but I've seen a tree with it all the way around.
so don't listen to that. Okay.
Yeah,
Are there any other helpful hints for being in the wilderness and surviving if you, say, got lost?
yeah. There's a lot of stuff. I mean, there have been books published. There's been thousands of hours of videos put in this, but there's a lot of things. There's a guy named Survivor Man. He was on the videos. Did like 30. He's just kicked out in the middle of nowhere for a week.
What about you? What are your tips?
Well, my tips are just going to be like him. Don't overexert yourself. Carry lots of food with you. Okay?
Okay.
Carry a space blanket with you. I've never gone anywhere in the woods except for the one time I got lost hunting down Little Rock. This kind of weird story. And that's why I say this stuff I always carry it with me now, because I had a cast on my foot and I was down there and my buddies were out hunting and I was just basically hanging around the truck. And I look out the window and I see a deer out there and I go, oh, I got out of the truck, loaded my rifle, and walk over there, and I'm in maybe waist deep Salal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, beautiful sunshiny day, and so I start kind of chasing this deer around the Salal.
Mm-hmm.
And this is second growth forest, so all the trees all look the same.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't see anything like a trail or nothing like that. So I get out there, I realize I get out there and I go, oh, it starts to cloud over, so I lose the sun, my perspective. I didn't take a compass reading before I went in. I broke several rules, but I was in my young, early 20s. Okay? And
Cocky.
yeah, I'm tough. I can manage anything, right?
Yeah.
So it starts raining, not like it is right now.
Oh my god. Oh
This
no,
part-
my camera.
Well, it's probably not going to rain too bad.
Oh, okay.
So I get out there and I get lost. I don't have a compass. I don't have anything. All I got is my rifle over my shoulder, and I think I'm in a t-shirt
Ugh.
and a cast on my
And you
foot.
didn't have your space blanket.
I didn't have my space blanket. I didn't have any of this stuff because I didn't even have any of this stuff yet because I was a young, dumb kid. And so I started walking, and basically I would pick a tree, and I'd walk to that tree, and I'd look at about where I was, and then I'd pick another tree and walk to that tree, so I wasn't circling. I knew enough about that.
Okay.
And
So
if
look
I'd
for
had-
landmarks.
Look for landmarks and make sure you don't circle, because most people, they'll start circling and they'll go, oh, I'm right here again.
Really?
Yeah, most people in the woods will circle around and they don't know where they're going.
That's so weird.
So,
That sounds scary.
yeah. So anyway, I'm walking. I got out of the truck at like, I don't know, noon or something.
Mm-hmm.
And this is in October when hunting season is. And it gets dark at 4:30, 5 o'clock. So I'm walking out there and I'm just drenched, completely drenched.
Oh, God.
And I'm walking. And I finally find a road. And I go, which way? Up or down? So you always walk down on a road, especially when you're in the woods.
Always walk down on a road.
Usually, because up is where they've gone to
and-
do the logging and mountains,
Right.
and down is where the humans are.
And all the water rolls down.
Yeah, and all the water rolls down and everything. So I go down, start walking down this road, got my rifle over my shoulder, and I walk down there.
Yeah.
And my hunting partner comes by about 7 o'clock that night, and he says, where in the hell have you been? And I says, I wish I knew. And
You found him though?
he found me. He was driving up and around all the roads, and he was asking people, hey, you seen a guy out here walking just with a cast on his foot? And so
Oh my God.
that was the one time that I got lost in the woods, and I mean, it made a big impression on me. If I'd have been like this age, I'd have been dead. I would have
And
died
the
of...
next day you went and you bought all this stuff.
No, this is accumulated after decades of being out there going, hey, I wish I had that, or I wish I had this, or
Yeah.
the situation. Like when I was over, that guy cut his thumb off.
Ew.
If I'd have had some sutures, I could have stuck a couple of sutures in there, and it could have stopped the bleeding a lot more than just wiping up with a tight bandage. So
Mm-hmm.
it all...
Or you
just
could have
experience.
used the floss and made a tourniquet with the floss.
And you don't do tourniquets.
They don't. Wait, what?
You
You don't do
tourniquet.
tourniquet?
Tourniquet is something if you can get this guy help within a half hour. You do a tourniquet, because if you can't get help pretty soon and you do a tourniquet, then you're going to lose that limb. The tourniquet shuts off all the blood.
Ooh, I didn't know that. Wait. You should do tourniquets if you can get help soon.
Yeah, and it's
But if you put it, basically, if you leave it on too long, you
gonna
cut off
lose-
the blood too long. And
Yeah.
then-
Now, if you have to do a
Oh, I
tourniquet,
didn't know that. I mean, you always see tourniquets in the movies.
if you have to do a tourniquet, let's say the guy has literally cut their arm off instead of just slicing their thumb open, right?
Okay.
If you do a tourniquet, then you release it every 15 minutes or something like that. Maybe look up the new statistics on that and let it bleed a little bit,
Oh, okay.
and then reapply the tourniquet. So you don't put the guy at risk at gangrene.
Ugh.
So.
Let's stop talking about this. Okay.
Well, you have to suck it up. When you're
Yeah,
out there,
yeah,
you
yeah.
just have to suck it up. That's all
Yeah.
there is to it.
I just don't want to talk about it. I'll
So.
deal with it when it happens.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, that's great information. Thank you.
yeah,
Want to go camping?
yeah.
Thanks, Dad.
Okay. Cool.